everybody. Welcome to the channel. So good to have you here. I'm excited because today I got to see Dune Part 2. Now, as you all know, that has been one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and got to see it today. I watched Dune Part 1 last night in preparation, even though I've seen Dune Part 1 a million times. But let's get right to the movie. So this is going to be non-spoiler for those who haven't seen it. Trust me, I wouldn't want to do that to you. But it starts off right where Part 1 left off. And when I tell you they get a hold of you and never let you go, that's what happens. Now, let me just say this. The it's 3 hours long, but you don't feel it at all. All right, so I'll start with what I like, and I'll talk about what I don't like. So what I liked, the cinematography, the director, the shots that they pick. This movie is epic, and it doesn't stop being epic. Like every scene, is like, are you kidding me? Look at. There were many times where I was like, what am I watching right now? Because the simplest scene was shot incredibly. The simplest thing was like, you're in awe of the it's frame by frame, like the entire time. It's like, wow, this is crazy. So there's that, right? And then there is the acting. Everybody in the cast does very well. Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, all the returning actors, but also the new ones. Austin Butler, Florence Pugh does really good. So Christopher Walken as the Emperor does good. So the acting is great. I gotta admit, Javier Bardem was my favorite. Now, Zendaya is huge in this movie, and she is phenomenal in this movie. And of course, Timothy Chalamet as Paul Atreides is great, but Javier Bardem was my favorite in the movie. Every time he's on the scene, you like him, like you want to see more of him. He put a smile on my face every single time, so I enjoyed him. But everybody does really well. The acting is fantastic. The fight choreography is great. Um, it's really, really good. The fight choreography, the knife fights and the sword fights is some of the best knife work I've seen. So clearly, the choreography is fantastic. Um, and the pacing for a 3 hour movie, the pacing is really good. Like, some people complain about Dune Part One's pace, but it was necessary, right? But this movie, yeah, there's some slow parts, trust me, but I don't know. It's just like boom, 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 boom for 3 hours. The pacing is really, really great in this film. Um, they changed the story somewhat, but nothing that's going to make any Dune fan, I'm talking about of the book, be upset. Not in my opinion. Um, there was one piece that was missing from the film that it hurt my feelings that I didn't get to see. But it didn't hurt my feelings. It doesn't ruin the movie for me. I can't say it because it'll be a spoiler for those who didn't see it. But there's one thing that was missing. I was like, oh man, I would have liked to see that. But didn't take away from the movie at all for me. So what didn't I like about this movie? The fact that I was missing that piece. I don't know, man. This movie was really good. Like, it's very rare when you walk out of theater and like your breath is just taken away by what you just experienced. You know what I mean? Like I said it in my straight out of theater review, but this is why we go to the movies, to experience something like this. Is this movie excellent? Like no flaws? No, but the flaws are not even really worth mentioning, in my opinion, because it doesn't take away from the movie. For me, the only thing that took away from the movie, or not took away, that was like a flaw, was I wanted to see something that I didn't get to see, and that's it. And it wasn't like, oh, that sucks. It was just like, oh, it would have been cool to see that, but it didn't take away from the movie for me. What You have to go see this in theaters. And obviously, everybody says it. Pick the biggest screen, loudest theater possible. Um, it is worth it. I went to go see it in Dolby, and it was everything to me. Um, I will say that it ends in a cliffhanger. This is not a spoiler, but it's not something that is. If they wanted to, they could end it with these two movies. So it's not like a cliffhanger like the first one, and like clearly is like, oh man, this was like, a good cliffhanger where it's not um like, obviously there's more to come, but at the same time, if they wanted to, they could call it a day and let you decide how the rest goes. You know what I'm saying? Uh Man, I loved it. I loved it. I can't wait to see it again. I cannot wait to see it again. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. So with that being said, how do I rate this movie? Oh, before I do this, if you haven't seen this movie and you haven't seen spoilers or anything like that, don't watch any of the. This is probably too late, but don't watch any of the like scenes and snippets and clips that have been released outside of the trailers. One in particular. So there is a sneak preview where they show the worm ride, and I refused to watch it, and I'm so glad I didn't. When I got to see that scene on the screen, forget about it. I was so amazed by what I saw, and I'm so glad that the first time I experienced it was at the Dolby Theater watching it. So if you haven't done that, do yourself a favor. Don't watch any clips. Obviously, the trailers, it is what it is. But don't watch any clips, especially that one. Experience that for the first time in theaters. Okay, so with that being said, what is my review? One being zone out, skip this one. 5 being fantastic, a must-see movie. It's a 5 for me. Now, mind you, I am a Dune fan. I'm a sci-fi fan, but I think anybody that loves movies will enjoy this movie. It is so epic. Yes, it's 3 hours, but they needed that time to tell this story. It is so good. Um, it's a 5 for me. Check it out. This is a must-see and must-see in theaters. Um, yeah, Dune Part 2. Let's go. All right, do me a favor, y'all. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And so if you like this content, click that like button, click subscribe, and share with others. Help us get to our goal. I appreciate you. Until the next one. Peace.